What's up, everybody? So it's been a little over a month now since the end of the Clone Wars TV show. I've made my thoughts about that very vocal, but for those who don't know, I loved it. I think it made up for the prequels, and I was finally able to witness Order 66 with some emotion. But that's not the point of today's video. In fact, I wanted to dive into some potential LEGO sets that we could be seeing in the near future with the Clone Wars. You guys may know that the official box art for the 501st Legion set was promoted on LEGO's site a couple of days ago, and in the top right hand corner you can see one of the Ahsoka troopers. So that begs the question, will we be getting more of these sets coming in the future? Of course, David did make a video talking about this too, which was interesting. I'll leave a link down below if you want to check that out. So that being said, today's video is going to be going over some of the sets that I would love to see from LEGO that I think were iconic enough from Season 7 of the Clone Wars to be made into actual LEGO sets. And before we continue, I do want to give a huge thank you to BrickWizard59 for supplying all the images you guys will see of any box art, as well as the models. And I do also want to give a huge thank you to Baggles4Real, who has supplied all of the custom minifigure pictures you guys will be seeing here. So I'll leave links down below in the description to both of them on Instagram. Thank you guys so much if you're watching this. I really appreciate it. But I kind of want to start off with the first one that I think is the most obvious. It's the thing that we all think of when we think of the Clone Wars, and that's a Republic gunship. Now, we are rumored to get a UCS Republic gunship sometime in the next year or two. I'm assuming that set's going to be out of scale. It's not going to be anywhere near minifigure scale, something similar to perhaps the A-Wing or the TIE Fighter. So I am really looking for a scaled version of a gunship. But obviously, if it's going to be a LEGO set, we can't really judge the same MOCs and LEGO sets in the same category. So here, BrickWizard59 has done a really nice job of modeling, which is, in my opinion, a pretty affordable and not too detailed gunship model that can very easily be a set. Now, as far as minifigures go, I think we would base this set off of that first initial scene from the Clone Wars Mandalore invasion, when you do have the gunship coming into the atmosphere of Mandalore, obviously combating with the Maul Mandalorian. So I think the big figures that I would like to see are Captain Rex, Ahsoka, and then at least two of the Mandalore Maul figures. I don't think having Darth Maul would make too much sense unless you wanted to base it off of something as if when he was being captured at the end of the arc, but I'll get to that in a little bit. So obviously in this set, I'd like to see a brand new Ahsoka, which would be very screen accurate to Season 7. Here is a beautiful rendition that Baggles4Real has done of a custom Ahsoka that is screen accurate to Season 7. Obviously getting a brand new Captain Rex with the Ahsoka helmet would be nice, as well as getting a nice 332nd Trooper. But really what I'd be namely looking for in this particular set would be two more updated Maul Mandalorians. The versions we got in the past were pretty good, but they don't have leg printing. I'd love to see LEGO do something like that, which I do think we're going to see eventually down this road. As far as pricing goes, I'd expect this set to probably be north of $150, knowing the IP licensing fees and just how much Star Wars is expensive now. So I'd expect this gunship $150, maybe 4 or 5 minifigures would be great. But for the sake of today's video, we are starting out with perhaps the most obvious one. Next, I'd like to go to maybe perhaps not the most obvious one in the Clone Wars that I think would be actually really great. I really would like to see a newer play scale Republic attack shuttle. I mean, it's not necessarily iconic, but I do believe it is enough screen time, and I think we can associate it with enough of the scenes in the Mandalore arc in Clone Wars Season 7 as fans, especially as it is the shuttle that takes the Darth Maul, who's encapsulated in that old Mandalorian-esque Jedi chamber, jail, whatever you want to call it. But I think they'd be really cool. So obviously figures I'd like to see. I'm not actually going to go with the minifigures that you see on the box right here. I'd like to see an Ahsoka minifigure, obviously, but more importantly, I'd really like to see some contraption, whether that be brick built or a mold that would sort of function like the Han Solo carbonite mold that is for Darth Maul. Now, obviously, Darth Maul wasn't frozen. He was just put in a box. So we can perhaps even get a brand new Bo-Katan minifigure and have them departing from Mandalore and be that scene. But I think that would be really cool. I do, however, think that the model we see here is a little bit too detailed for what LEGO would make, so I'd expect something less. I'm thinking for a decent play version, anywhere between 800 to 1,000 parts will be in the ballpark, probably about $100, $120. That would be my guess, but that would be something I really would like to see in the new wave. Now let's take a little bit of a rewind to the very beginning of Season 7 with the Bad Batch arc on Anaxis. You guys know I built this big, huge, ginormous, it takes up all my space on LEGO Star Wars Fort and Axis build. If you haven't checked that out, I'll leave a link down below. But I think the Bad Batch shuttle is one of the most iconic things from the series. It's the very first, or one of the very first big newer ships that we haven't gotten too many views of to come in the Clone Wars Season 7. Obviously, when the Bad Batch ship lands on an Axis, of course, out comes Crosshair, Wrecker, Tech, and Hunter, the 4 Bad Batch squad meeting Anakin Skywalker. I think that would be really cool. I'm looking at a smaller playset here. I'm gonna guess around maybe $700 to $900 900 parts, probably about $100, $90. I think would be a really fair price. I'm thinking about something like the Kylo Ren shuttle, just a little smaller, just for those of you to get an idea. But I think Lego making the Bad Batch in Lego form would be really, really cool. Obviously, getting an awesome Episode 3 Anakin Skywalker from Anaxes would be really cool as well. I know a lot of people weren't too necessarily fond of the Bad Batch arc. I honestly thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it was anything extravagant. I didn't think it sucked like the Trace and Rafa arc, but I think it was a fun arc to watch nonetheless. The next set I would love to see Lego recreate is the Fang Fighter, or the Mandalorian Fighter, whatever you want to call it. Lego has made this version in the past, and I don't believe the model we see here on the screen would be anything about like the set. In terms of a Lego set, I think this build wouldn't pass as an official Lego set, but obviously we're looking for a little bit of a played down version. But for me, it makes sense because we have that gunship as part of the initial invasion, so why wouldn't we get a Fang Fighter that is fighting for the Mandalorians, combating the clones when they do break the surface in the atmosphere. So assuming we would get a Republic starship, I'd like to get a Mandalorian starship, and I think the Fang Fighter would be a great choice for that. As far as minifigure goes, I think this would be the best opportunity to get a lot of Mandalorians. Obviously, like I've said, I would love to see some Maul Mandalorians, but I would specifically love to see some name ones. I know there's Gar Saxon, and I know there's the other one, I forget, I'm blanking on her name unfortunately, but then we also do have Bo-Katan and the other Mandalorian, so I think this would be a great set. We don't even really need an Ahsoka or a clone trooper. I would be very content with just 3-4 Mandalorian minifigures, 2 from Maul, 2 from the good side, and that would be pretty much making the set. I'd expect this to be around 600-700 pieces, so let's say $80 or so. Again, we're going to be paying a premium for any of these sets if they are being made. And likewise, and more iconic even, is the version of Maul's Gauntlet Fighter, or Maul's Fang Fighter. It's at the very last scene that we see Maul as a free man on Mandalore being captured by Ahsoka, Captain Rex, and all of the gunship. I think seeing the red version, the red variant with the red, black, and gray color palette on this Fang Fighter would be super cool to see, and this would be a great opportunity to get a brand new Clone Wars Season 7 Maul. I don't want to see any more of these out of scale legs. I would love to see some regular printing. I think that would go a far way. So as far as minifigures, like I said, Ahsoka, Darth Maul, maybe one Maul Mandalorian for piloting the ship, but that would be equally as cool in my opinion to get this as well. Second to last set I would love to see might not be necessarily iconic. In fact, we've only seen it on screen for maybe not even a few minutes, but it is the 501st Y-Wing Bomber. We've gotten Republic Y-Wings in the past in the yellow color scheme, but I think the ship definitely is noticeable enough to warrant a Lego set. It's the only starfighter that was left functioning in the hangar at the very last steps of the Clone Wars Season 7. I think minifigures go. I would love to see Ahsoka and Rex, but I'd also love to see a Lego version of ARC Trooper Jesse. He is probably one of the most famous 501st ARC Troopers that we've known. Unfortunately, spoiler alert, he doesn't make it out of the Clone Wars, but I think this would be a great opportunity to get some more clones. As far as this, I'm thinking somewhere around $70-$60, something based off of the both the Resistance and also the Rebellion Y-Wing, something very similar. But like I said, it's not necessarily iconic like the Gunship is or anything like that, but I think it does warrant a Lego set. It's a scene that was fun to watch, it was super cool to see, and I think it would turn into a great Lego set. Now before we get on to my last suggestion that Lego make, I want to do, I guess, 2 honorable mentions. There was a lot of land conflict, and all the shuttles and all the ships that we've seen today's video are all sort of aerial or space oriented, but I wanted to give 2 quick honorable mentions to sets that I'm not going to spend too much time on. I would love to see a remake of the Mandalorian Speeder as a battle pack or as like a $30 set similar to the Clone Legion. I think this would be a great opportunity to build your army of Maul Mandalorians, maybe combating 1 or 2 clone troopers. So I'd love to see Lego take a step back, maybe make some more affordable sets based off of some land conflict. And similarly, which really wouldn't be affordable, I'd also maybe like to see a new rendition of the AT-TE. That was perhaps the only land vehicle that we saw in the Season 7 battle on Mandalore, and I think that would be cool to have the Speeder and the AT-TE going head to head if you're a kid playing with it or if you're even a collector. So there's my sort of 2 honorable mentions. I didn't want to spend too much time on those, but I think it was worth mentioning some land combat oriented sets. And last but certainly not least, what is in my opinion my most desired set right after the Star Destroyer was made, and it is a Venator. I'm not asking for a UCS Venator from Lego, but I am asking for a newly updated Venator playscale ship, which would be incredible. Now, if Lego wants to go ahead and make a UCS one, by all means, be my guest. That would be amazing, and I'd love to see that, but let's just think of playscale for right now. So the minifigures I would love to see in this set would definitely borderline be imaginable. I don't think LEGO would ever make this lineup of minifigures in one particular set, especially in maybe $180, $200 playset that the vendor might be, but I would love to base this off of the scene where Obi-Wan, Anakin, Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, Captain Rex, Commander Cody, when they all meet together. These are a lot of named characters in one set, which is why I am willing to bet my entire collection this set will never come into fruition, at least in terms of the specifics of minifigures, but I would love to see a semblance of that initial scene. Most importantly, the last scene that Ahsoka sees Anakin Skywalker. I mean, when I saw that scene, just a quick tangent, I didn't realize that was the last time Ahsoka would see her friend, her master, and after seeing that scene in the conclusion of the series, I think that was one of the most emotional and powerful scenes we've seen in all of Star Wars. But nonetheless, I'd love to see a Playscale Venator. I'm assuming this would be somewhere around $200, $225. Again, the minifigures are imaginable. I don't think LEGO would ever include this many named figures, but I'd love to see minifigures around that sort of level in the set, if that makes sense. So guys, that wraps up today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. I think the Clone Legion set has opened up crazy pathways and crazy possibilities to brand new Clone Wars sets that we can be getting in the near future. I, for one, am hoping to see more Clone Wars, more Jedi Fallen Order, and some more Mandalorian ones coming up in the future. But guys, let me know down below in the comments what set you would like to see most out of the ones I went over today, and which one did I not mention that you would like to see be made by LEGO. Guys, let me know down below. Drop a like and subscribe if you guys are new. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you later. Take it easy. Peace.